Yo, what's up? This is Jonathan. Today, what I'd like to talk to you about is sticking points. These are my tips and tricks for overcoming your sticking points as quickly as humanly possible. But before I get into that, if you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you're watching my content, what are you doing, man? Come on, subscribe to that stuff. What I'd like to talk to you about today is sticking points. When you're learning a skill set and you hit a wall, it's the one thing you want to work on that'll break down those barriers that give you access to that higher level of the skill set. Now, this can be an internal barrier, say maybe a phobia or some sort of limiting belief, but most likely this is going to be a skill that you haven't learned yet. Maybe you have to spend some time working on a skill, developing that skill so that you can be sharper overall. You're going to have to isolate that one sticking point, hammer on it, get it handled, and then move on to the next sticking point, the more advanced sticking point that you'll run into later. How do we do this? Well, first and foremost, it's important to figure out what your sticking point actually is. What I recommend you do, and this is the simplest way from my experience that I've found my sticking points, at the end of the day, give yourself a feedback sandwich. Or in other words, say what you're doing well, say what you didn't do so well, and say what you should be doing next time. What's a positive direction moving forward the next day? When you write these out, what's important is you're taking enough action that you can do this assessment every single day. And after doing that consistently, maybe a week or so, the thing that you should work on will probably just stick out in your memory. So if that's your sticking point, using the Pareto principle, 80% of your new results would come from that 20%. In other words, it's the most important thing you should work on at that moment in time. Now, let's say you have a sticking point that might take a month to get handled. How do you speed up this process? First thing you do is you focus. For that month, you dedicate yourself to just working on fixing that sticking point. Let's say, for example, with your social skills, maybe you want to work on self-amusement. In that case, what you're going to want to do is immerse yourself in different resources that can help you become better at self-amusement. Maybe you want to watch nothing but stand-up comedy, or maybe you want to listen to really funny podcasts, or maybe you want to read books on how to be funnier. Keep a diary, jot down things that you find funny so you can learn what your sense of humor is and have a better understanding of what emotional buttons you can push in yourself to self-amuse. And then maybe the next month, your sticking point is something else. Maybe you want to balance it out. You're too much of a goofball now because you've been self-amusing too much. Maybe you want to be a little bit more dominant. So in that case, listen to like gangster rap, listen to podcasts with very dominating people. Watch movies where the main character might be a very dominant force and try to kind of embody these different dominant traits and really work on them. And then the next month, you might want to work on something else. Here's the thing. Maybe in about 6 months to a year, you circle back to self-amusement or being dominant. And you continuously work through the different sticking points, cycle through them each month. By doing this, it's going to help balance you out and it's going to help open your mind to new dimensions of this skill set. You're going to get over these sticking points faster if you have the discipline to focus on them. That way you can get it handled as quickly as possible and move on to the next one. And say you are in an immersive period, keep in mind you might also want to do a little bit of maintenance in those other areas. So let's say maybe you're immersing yourself in work currently, doing a lot of deep work sessions, trying to get your business off the ground or whatever it is. You don't want to just stop working out because you have to focus 99% of your time on building your business. Instead, put your other important areas of your life into more of a maintenance mode. Say, for example, you're working on your business, but you want to keep your social skills sharp. Maybe go out for 20 minutes a night. Or go to the grocery store every single day and talk to the cashier. Try to talk to your Uber driver. Try to talk to people who get into the elevator with you. Put those little challenges for yourself out there. Don't just stop working on your social skills altogether because you're going to slide backwards before you even realize. It's like an astronaut who goes to outer space. If they're not working out, they could be up there for 100 days, but because of the lack of gravity, once they come back to Earth, they're not going to be able to stand up. Their bodies are going to turn into jelly, basically. They're going to be this like jelly sack. And it's going to take them about a year to recover. So let's say you are doing an immersive period, you can always do 20 minutes of working out. Or even more important than that, you might want to just stay in the habit of going to the gym, making sure that you just step into the gym, maybe do 20 push-ups and then leave every single day, because that's going to keep that habit. Say you do want to immerse yourself in becoming healthy again, you don't have all that resistance, right? You still have that momentum with going to the gym. That habit is in place, and that momentum is going to carry you forward. And then on top of that, you don't want to break the chain, right? If you're consistent with it, if you're going into the gym every single day, you're not going to want to miss a day. That is the balance between immersion and maintenance. And you should always be immersed in something, your next top priority, focused on solving that. But in the meantime, you have another problem you need to deal with, and that is keeping momentum with your other areas of your life. Whether it be wealth, health, relationships, you need to at least put yourself in a maintenance mode, keep the momentum going in those areas of your life. Another point about sticking points, while you're immersing yourself, you do want to figure out where the boundaries are. You might have to actually fail and do things that seem so outrageous, push the boundaries to see where they are, gain an intuition for the boundary. That way, when you go back to being your normal self, you have sharpened the sword, so to speak, or you have enhanced your skill set. Thank you for watching this video. Again, if you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to my channel or write in the comments. Let me know what it is that you're working on right now and how you plan on achieving the goals that you're setting out to achieve for yourself. This is Jonathan in Austin, Texas. I appreciate you being here. Have a good night.